This is a Ben Frank Connection presentation.
Yo.
Hey. What's going on?
What's up?
Welcome to a brand new episode of Wrestling with Life. This is episode 9.
We're just cruising through these, Ralph.
We're cruising through them. We're killing it. It's been
crazy.
It's been great. And we've got another spectacular episode
Yes, we
for
do.
you today. Yes.
Mhm.
This is actually, so this will be part 2 of what I like to call the Scharf Brothers collection.
Yes.
Back in March, we got part 1 where we got to talk to Erwin.
Mhm.
And today we are bringing in Erwin's brother, who, as I understand it, is coming to us from the palatial Scharf Estates. So we are going to bring him in, and we are going to be talking to Erwin's brother, referee Steve Scharf.
Bring him in.
Hello.
All right.
What's up?
Hi there.
What's
Hi.
happening? So happy that you can be on the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and I'm gonna give you a shout out, King Ralph.
Oh, all
The
right.
amount of people who can't pronounce Scharf is actually surprising.
Really?
What do they think? Scarf?
Yes, it's like school bus. So,
Yeah.
and I think the Pennsylvania Jersey region is like so like German that
Right.
got a lot of German and a lot of Central European that it's fine. You
Yeah.
go to places that don't have like a heavy German population or Central European population, it's gone. I had
Right.
a couple Chilean wrestlers that I refereed for, and they said, "How do we say your name?"
Oh no.
Oh,
What's the worst one?
I had somebody once go, "How do I pronounce your name?" And it went Scharf, and they went, "Okay, so am I allowed to curse?"
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so they went, okay, so like shit and barf in one word.
Oh god.
Oh, well, yeah, that's exactly. And you're
I
thinking
mean,
to yourself,
no,
yeah,
They're not
But I don't
wrong.
want you to be right.
that's what I'm trying to get across here.
It's not right, but it's definitely not wrong.
Well, it's wrong, just not in the ways that, oh my.
Yeah.
So let's get into who you are. We've met the wrestler. Now let's meet the referee. How did you get into refereeing? And not that you've been in the ring, but if you could compare it to wrestling versus refereeing, how hard is refereeing?
So I got into refereeing was I actually started training to be a wrestler first. And what happened was I was gonna go help out Camp Leapfrog, which is what high tension wrestling is now.
Yeah.
And like a couple days before a show, they're like, "Do you want to referee?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I've never refereed before. Why not?" And I did it, and I liked it. I wasn't great at it, but I liked it.
Mhm.
And they're like, "We liked you as a referee, so why don't you do it again?" I just did it again and again and again. And then
Right.
another place contacted me, like, "Hey, I heard you referee."
Wow.
Okay. And it took off way more than I thought it would. I became what I consider to be a very good ref. And it was just like, oh, okay, cool. And as far as the difference, because I have a little bit of wrestling training in wrestling versus refereeing goes, is what you're paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
As a wrestler, you're working the crowd, you're working that stuff.
Right.
And as a referee, the referee is a tool to tell the wrestler's story. So the referee, you stay in the background, and you have to know when is it time for me to step into the foreground to become that character, to become that tool for the wrestlers to tell their story. Like the heel keeps cheating, and the referee's job is to tell the crowd the heel is cheating and he's not allowed to do this. And then step into the background again once your role is done. And being able to understand when they do that without outshining the wrestlers is important. So there's a lot of little things to it, like the referee should never move faster than the wrestlers. So the wrestlers do the move, and the referee like runs in to get the pin. That actually takes away from the move because there's too many moving things going on.
Right.
Wow.
Interesting.
So this is something I've been wondering about since we talked about recording this episode. How many people tell you or come up to you and say like, "Hey, how come you miss all that stuff in the ring? How come you miss when that guy's cheating?
Right.
Like, how come you miss this, or how come you miss that? Like, why don't you just turn around and look? I mean, does that kind of stuff ever happen? Because I
Yeah,
would
but
be
I have
worried that-
ADHD, so they can't be mean to me about it.
Oh,
Same.
wow, man, I need to get me some of that. No, that's a good.
Listen,
That's a
it's
good way
it's
to
a blessing and a curse, and I'm sure you can
Oh,
also
it
say
is.
that it has its good and bad days.
It is good and bennies. It's the goods is the everything I do at a wrestling show. The bennies is the attention deficit part.
Right. We are
Yeah.
good about everything and nothing
Yes.
same time.
I'm going to start 50. I'm going to start a project and
Yeah.
relentlessly research it
Yup,
today that will
yup.
never be finished.
Yep, exactly. Correct. Absolutely correct.
So let's talk about some of the places that you've been refereeing, and what's your experience been like, working with different companies. I'm sure you have different experiences at all of them, or are your experiences very similar at the
So
different
I've
companies?
worked a lot of shows through Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and a little bit in New York. So I've worked WA Elite, T2Ts, got a couple student showcases I've worked. I've worked at Worldwide Dojo, student showcases, High Tension, Camp Leapfrog, EWA Maryland, CZW. I've worked in Labor of Love. So I've been generally like a good flavor of everything. And one of the big things that comes from all that is every company. I've worked Fight Pro as well. Can't forget them. Big fan. One of the big things that comes from that is what a referee is supposed to be doing in those shows. So, in something like High Tension, a referee is supposed to be more carefree and fun. It might be a good word. Play along with like the funny gimmick matches that happen. Or react in a certain way. So, like when a silly match happens and you're refereeing it, you should respond to certain things in a specific way. But then when you're over at Fight Pro, which is like Ring of Honor pure rules on steroids, like you are now the authority in the ring.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have to know what this show wants you to be as a referee, whether they want you to be like Bryce Remsburg, and like whoa, like to like
I am a huge Bryce Remsburg fan.
Yeah.
I love Bryce Remsburg. I've been following him since the Chikara days. He's one of my favorite goofy because he can also play both sides. I'm sure Ralph can also attest to this, but he can play serious and goofy at the same time when it's needed.
Yes. Yeah. He's taught me, like I've been to a lot of seminars and just learned from him and like had advice from him. Be a better referee, and it's stuff that like it's been like my first time I ever met him like 3 years ago. It's just things that to this day I think about. So like, how do I do better in this situation? What would Bryce do? And this is what he does. What advice did he give me related to stuff like this? This is what he gave.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you train to become a referee? Like, what are the steps do you take for that?
So typically, you can find most wrestling schools that are not camp-based. Camp-based wrestling schools don't often have referee training unless it's specifically outlined. There's two different ways referee schools train that I can go into if you want. But
sure.
I'm going to give the Worldwide Dojo as an example first. So Worldwide Dojo has a referee training program.
Oh, cool.
Referee training program. The first half-ish of your training is actually identical to the wrestler training.
Okay.
The reason being is we want the referees to know exactly what goes on in the ring, why stuff's going on in the ring, what a good bump looks like, what a bad bump looks like, what a good bump feels like, what a bad bump feels like. So you learn the same thing wrestlers do. You learn about lockups and all that. Once you have the basic fundamentals of that down, you then start learning the roles of the referee.
Gotcha.
You start sprinkling in a little bit of referee training into just learning a little bit about the ring movements. And then also sometimes people do that and they find that they really like wrestling and they're like, I don't need a referee anymore. Cheeseburger's one of those people. Actually, he started wrestling training to be a manager, and they did that exact thing. They're like, cool, you're going to learn a little bit of the wrestle, then we'll teach you managing. And he just went, I like wrestling.
Wow. But he's so good at it though too. He's such a good wrestler.
Yeah, Burger's like, you can go to Burger and you can say, hey, Cheeseburger, I was watching Raw 2012 on like September 13th, and Tyson Kidd did this specific pin. And Berger went, "Yep, this is how you do it." And,
That's
Wow.
awesome. That's awesome.
what? And he's just like, "This is how you do the pin." Like, you don't even know what it, like. I reference like an arbitrary, and he's like, "Yep,
Yeah,
I've seen the episode."
Yeah, you reference such such an obscure Raw episode. How'd you know that exact date?
The Worldwide Dojo is such an insane place. I saw the Ring of Honor tape library there, and I mean they must have every Ring of Honor show that's ever been put out on DVD, like just sitting right there.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
The dojo is so funny because you go there. If we ever end up having a reason for you to be there again, I will personally give you a tour. The dojo is so funny because when Ring of Honor moved out and Berger moved in, or rather, he just stayed and he just took what they had. It's like they instead of moving the ring out, they just keep the ring out by it. You know, that's right. Save you the moving cost. Wow, like
exactly.
The relic that is that dojo. There's pictures on the wall that were pictures from the graduation of those people 15 years ago. There's like pictures of Dan O'Brien when Dan O'Brien was like OG Ring of Honor.
That's crazy.
The office with the desk, that's CM Punk's desk. There is a documentary about, I believe, CM Punk that WWE aired. I don't even remember when. I want to say it was like during his like initial WWE run.
I think I have it on DVD.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This documentary, it's the same.
Oh, really?
Same. Everything's the same.
Oh, wow.
And nothing has been, it's the same walls. There's pictures on the walls. There's flags or stuff like that. In Berger's office. Yeah. All the old.
There it is. Yep. That's what I have. Yep.
All the old tapes. There's newspaper clippings. The food, the pizza restaurant that everybody from Ring of Honor has ever ordered pizza from, framed on the wall of the menu.
Awesome.
Like,
hell yeah.
Like,
that's awesome.
OG clippings of like Daisy Hayes and Delirious are trainers here.
Yeah.
And then the famous Smith machine, if you ever heard that story.
I know the story. ABJ and I got to take a look at that when we were at the high tension tapings, and the little note that's still on it. But why don't you tell our viewers
yes, please,
all about that?
Please
so
do.
There's a Smith machine at the Worldwide Dojo's weight room. So we have a weight room, and all of that is the OG weight. So you want to pick up that weight? You're touching, I don't know, Dan O'Brien's sweat 20 years ago.
right.
But there's a Smith machine that Claudio Castagnoli, also known as Cesaro, was doing a promo on, where he loaded up the entire machine, the entire bar of every weight. And he was going to bench while cutting the promo because it's Claudio and he can do that.
Right.
And he does it, and the string cable snaps. And so the promo I don't think exists. But anyway, because that's probably really funny. And they put a sticky note that says Smith machine broken, do not, whatever. Give it 15 years or whatever. Eventually, spoiler, is fixed. So we keep the sticky note on there.
The sticky note's still there, yep.
Because we want to see how long that sticky note's 20 years old. Let's see if it keeps going.
Right. I mean,
That's
why
incredible.
not? Why not?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
There's relics like that. There's a gaming room. It's got a bunch of like classic stuff. There's just like, and in that gaming room, like I don't know why we have a gaming room.
To relax.
High tension. Like somebody finished their match, played Smash Bros.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah, like Melee. And like there's just old relics, like old baseballs with the old ROH logo, stuff from like other local promotions, like some relics from Chikara.
Heck yeah.
And it's just like it's going to accumulate there. There's a sign in one of the rooms. It's massive, like probably like 10 foot by like 8 foot sign.
Jeez.
That's like Ring of Honor wrestling tonight. Daniel Bryan versus like Hot Sauce, like tickets $10.
Wow.
And it's just there.
Big is this building? There's so many rooms.
You think like it's cramped.
You would not. The way he's describing it is.
It sounds like it has a lot of room.
Well, it's funny because it's in a building with some other things, so it's up on the second floor. And what's funny is when, and I noticed this at the high tension tapings, when wrestlers come there that have never been there before and they don't know, so they come up the stairs and they, instead of going to the left, they go to the right, and then they end up down at the cheerleading training, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't right. I'm not here
This
to be a
isn't right.
cheerleader.
This
It's
is
actually
wrestling.
left to cheerleaders, right to wrestling.
No,
There you go.
Yes, left the cheerleaders, right to wrestling. I was facing the
So
stairs
close.
and pointing
So
people in the
close.
right direction. That's what it was.
Those stairs are like nearly symbolic to me and probably other wrestlers. Like, so you walk in, and on the front door it says Well Red Wide Dojo, WOLRD. Oops, landlord had a typo.
Love that.
And so you walk in and you go take a left and you go upstairs, and then you take a right, and then there's a little door you enter. And like the stairs takes like, it's probably like 15 steps. And like you're walking up the stairs, and as you walk up, you can hear the sounds of the wrestling ring. You can hear the sounds of discussion. You hear the sound of bumps. Everything is like reverberating the stairway. And there's almost like for me, just like a symbolic transformative, like you walk up the stairs and like you are leaving reality and you are entering wrestling. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So is like the stairs where you go from, normal person to referee by the time you get upstairs?
Yeah, like normal person to referee, like normal person to like person in wrestling. Normal person is just like all your problems are left at the bottom of the stairs and you pick them up on your way out.
So I know your brother Erwin said it to us a few weeks ago, but he said that wrestling is like escapism. Do you feel this the same way?
Oh yeah, it's literally like when I referee matches, I try to actually sit in on the entirety of I'm going to peel back the curtain. You sit in on the entirety of the match calling. Did you know wrestling is not real? So sorry,
jot it down in the notes.
Listen, you may say that, but there's a guy out there that says wrestling's still real.
Real to me, yeah.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
And I like to sit in on the entire match calling and just like help them put my parts together as a referee, because it's like, well, we're calling the match and then the referee's not going to see it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, how am I not going to see it?
Right.
And it's like being able to sit there and like talk them through like their match and be like, all right, cool. Like we need to make a reason for me to not see this thing. And it really actually, I feel, enhances people's matches by doing that without being overbearing. I'm not trying to win somebody's match, but if I straight up just turn around and the heel like low blows the face and I turn back around, the crowd's going to be the heat.
Like, what are you doing? Right.
And you don't want the heat on the referee. The referee should not get heat. The heel should get heat for taking advantage of the referee.
Yeah.
So you want to work in, like, let's work in a distraction. So communicating with them to figure out ways to do distraction. It's, well, how do we distract? It's like, from my previous show, we did this. So how about that?
Right.
So I was thinking about this, when we talk to wrestlers on Opinion City, we'll talk to them about like, who was like motivation for them to become a wrestler, or who do they look at for inspiration? As a referee, do you have maybe some referees in mind that may have motivated you, or that you look towards maybe their style when you're thinking like, how should I do this, or just maybe something that's like an inspiration to you as far as referees?
I'm gonna give two.
Okay.
One is a person TV, and another is a person I know. TV, Bryce Remsburg. He is like, I've already said it. He's amazing, and I study him. I've been to his seminars. I don't know him personally. I don't have his phone number, stuff like that. He won't recognize me if I see him from his seminars, but I've learned so much from him. And if I ever had the chance to just tell him like my career is immensely improved because of you, I would.
Right.
In person, referee Adam Galt. He is the head referee for GCW.
Okay.
And he's overall an amazing referee. Any problems I ever have, if just questions, concerns, stuff like that, I go to him for. He's Berger's go-to guy for referee training for people. So if there's like he's training a referee, he'll get Adam Galt to come on out and help cultivate them and stuff like that.
Right. So as a referee, do you find it hard to sometimes stay in the match because there's so much going on around you between the tapping the ring, the fans, the crowd? Like, is it hard to stay focused sometimes?
I'm pretty good at tuning out the crowd and focus on the fans, because especially early on as a referee, you will get heckled a lot, especially if you're like look a little uncertain, or like you make like a
Sure.
ticky-tacky call.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
crowd's gonna start, shouting stuff like what the,
Mhm.
and you just tune them out, call it as you see it. And if you can only call what you see. There's no VAR,
Yeah.
whatever in wrestling. So if I didn't see it, I'm sorry it didn't happen.
Right.
It sucks. Wrestling.
So, what would you say? What would you say is probably the thing you like the most about being a referee, and maybe not the thing you dislike about being a referee, but maybe something that is a like an unintentional bad thing about being a referee.
I got a good one for that one, but
There we go.
My favorite is like the people I get to work alongside.
Right.
I don't think my brother will ever get to wrestle Rhett Titus.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way the wind blows. That is if it does, wow, holy crap!
Right.
I'm sorry,
right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Mhm.
But I've refereed for Rhett Titus. I
Okay.
held up so many different title belts. I held up a title belt that Apollo Crews had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I've held up the CZW title. I've held up all these legendary things. I've been in these legendary venues that my brother will probably never wrestle at because just how wrestling is.
Right.
Sure.
And so that opportunity to be a part of these big things and have these just people that I watched as a kid and get to referee for them is wow. That's just awesome. But so let me just take a sip of water real quick.
No, go ahead.
Sorry for some dead air. But
you're good.
You're all good.
Big thing I dislike. I call it AEW ref syndrome. So early on in AEW. Early on in AEW, we had the Lucha Bros in doing their thing, and they operated under Lucha Tag rules.
Mhm.
Then you have FTR operating under American Tag rules.
Right.
And everybody had different tag rules.
Yeah.
And the referees, they're not going to throw out a match. I'm going to tell you right now, DQing a match for a wrestler shoot breaking a rule is some promoters say go for it. Some promoters say no. You're going to get beat up by the wrestlers no matter what backstage.
No matter what, you're done.
Yeah, Rick Knox is not going to go and incur the ire of Penta El Sierra.
Right.
No.
And so the wrestlers just run around and do their tag spots and nonsense like that. The referee just has to
watch it happen. Right.
One,
stay out of the ring.
2. At one time I got the 4 and they just kept going, so I had to stop.
Right.
And it's not, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you get these people who come up to you and I saw it with AEW where it's the referees in AEW need to enforce more order. That's not on the referee, that's on the wrestlers.
Right.
And I had that recently.
Wow.
I had a dude come up to me a referee. I refereed a match and I had a guy come up to me that was involved heavily in the promotion, and he's you need to have more order in that tag match.
Okay.
Here's this multi-man spot where all 4 guys were beating each other up. Am I supposed to get in there?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And from a non-kayfabe, from a wrestling calling standpoint, you can go to them and go, hey, that's not in the rules. You can't do that.
Right.
But that can only go so far.
Yeah.
And guys will straight up start asking you don't referee their matches if you're too much about that.
Right.
And so it's I call it AEW ref syndrome because things that are outside of my control from a match calling standpoint, especially if it's a big deal person,
right.
if for some reason, not saying I'm going to use Rhett Titus example, but say I'm refereeing for Rhett Titus and he comes up and they have this idea for a spot, but it is blatant not allowed.
Right.
You can't go to Rhett Titus and go, you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No.
See, when I first heard AEW ref syndrome, I thought of an old trope that Ralph is also not a fan of, and that's that's when they hold the ladders for the
when they hold the ladders for
wrestlers,
the wrestlers,
and
when
you
they're
can see it
climbing.
on
And
camera.
that's right on TV. Like they show, and again, this is more on AEW production for
Right.
like,
It's not so much
doing
camera
it
issue.
in the
Yeah.
right. But I don't know. That just sometimes that takes away from it. Wardlow's the big one.
There's a
That
picture of
blows
me
my
I
mind.
have somewhere of me holding a ladder, and I spotted the camera pointing at me, and I went,
Yes, I love that.
great.
Oh, my bad.
well, I
So-
was just like, what am I can't let go.
Yeah. Just let go of the ladder. See what happens. Ah!
And then down the wrestlers go.
Right, they just go down.
Wow.
So, what's the craziest match you've ever refed?
I mean, I've done the craziest match I ever refereed was CC Boost. Versus
Yeah.
Max Zero at Midsummer Nightmare, the famous police match. That if you have not seen that, it's on YouTube. It's
I have not seen that
High Tension
match.
Wrestling, Midsummer Nightmare. It's the main event. It is Max Zero versus CC Boost in a no rules match, and they went more out of control than a death
Oh
match
no.
out of control.
Oh no. Jeez.
My brother built the locker room.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
he built the locker room they had this little banner. Like, we literally just didn't have a locker room when we showed up there. It was literally going to be cram everybody into the bathroom, have fun.
Oh jeez. Oh no, that's not good.
Hmm.
And he pulled some strings, him being a veteran, and it was a VFW. And when you have a veteran at VFW, you can do anything you want.
Right.
So he pulled strings and got like a space cordoned out. And then he took a bunch of tables and he lined the tables up. And he had this like
Nice.
canvas material, and he actually laid all the canvases out into this wall over the tables. And it
That's
actually became
awesome.
a makeshift locker room. We had an awning, and he connected it all by the awnings, not me. But I don't know how to do anything. Another referee. And in the match, CC Boost grabs the awning
Oh,
or
no.
the little, like, it's a whatever, like, entranceway.
Right.
He grabs it and he goes and he smacks Max Zero with it. As he does, the entire canvas that like is across these tables just comes loose.
Oh no.
You see, like Sonny DeFarge is in his underwear, just like you can see it clear on the upload too. It is, and it's like the ring gets torn apart. They
Oh,
went outside.
no.
The cops got called, so the match ends because the cops showed up.
Oh Jesus. Oh no.
Like, if you have not
That's
seen
great.
this match, High Tension Wrestling, Midsummer Nightmare.
I will
main
have to
event,
seek it out
Max
now, just
Yeah.
for that
versus
spot.
CC Boost.
Just for that spot,
Oh,
I'll just seek it out
wow.
now, just to see him just throw the whole freaking
Jeez.
The entire locker room like structure just goes
just
with,
gone.
and like he partitioned, so it was like table, open space, table. So like you could just see all.
So,
Oh,
so
wow.
as it was happening, what did your brother think as his creation just fell apart in one foul swoop?
This just. I didn't see where he was. He leaves whenever I referee. I don't
Right.
know why.
Right.
Jeez.
I'm sure he was livid to
Yeah,
watching
I
that
was
happen.
can only
terrified
imagine.
because I was in the danger zone.
Wow. That's
Because
great.
I'm like checking on Max Zero, and suddenly I look up and there's an awning.
There's something attacking you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's wild.
Jeez.
I have one match that's not out of so that's one side of the no rules match.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, this was legitimately probably one of the best no rules matches, no DQ, whatever I've ever
Right.
seen. And I'm so glad I got the referee for it.
Yeah.
It was originally actually going to be a barbed wire match, but things had to change.
Okay.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't a barbed wire match because without barbed wire, it was insane.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I was refereed a no rules match where they did a fall down the stairs spot.
Oh.
The guy wasn't like a Darby Allin type, so he wasn't really committed. Like, Darby Allin falls down the stairs like
Oh, he just doesn't care. He just
this
goes
guy,
off into the wind.
kind of scooted himself down the steps and then would occasionally do a roll and then scoot. And I was like,
Jeez.
that's just
Wow.
if you are doing a crazy spot, that's you can half it. Don't do the spot.
No.
I've seen
Yeah.
Southern backyard wrestling where guys get hit by cars, and I've
Oh,
seen
wow.
one where a car hits a dude full speed and he over it. Looks
Oh,
insane. Like
jeez.
never do that. Then
That's
I saw
crazy.
one where like the car came up, then slowed down. And the guy like just onto it. I'm like,
Right.
don't do either of those, just because it's just like I don't know. Like if you can't do like if the spot's so unsafe that you're scared to do it for real, don't do the spot, please. Like it makes the wrestling look worse.
Or if you're gonna commit, just fully commit.
Yeah, and
Fully
but it's,
commit.
like, only fully commit if you're fully comfortable with it and like
Right, of course.
you understand the like what's going to happen.
Right. Absolutely.
Wrestling
So,
wrestling's crazy.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
So in that vein, all right. So let's say you're refereeing a match in Pennsylvania,
there you go.
and for those who don't know, Pennsylvania is like a police state when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
They're terrible about a lot of things. But
Mhm.
let's say someone accidentally bleeds in the ring. What would be the protocol? Because that's like a big no-no in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So the honest answer is like, and I'm going to use a military term we have called METTC. And what that essentially means is that every situation is unique.
Okay.
So wrestler gets cut in the ring.
Mhm.
If it's like a little scrape and there's a little bit of bleeding, it's probably going to scab over pretty quick. You put the gloves on, you keep going.
Mhm.
Unless like but if it's like a Nick Gage artery cut,
Oh yeah.
he's bleeding, like you gotta hit it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't want the promoter to get fined. Like you have to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So it's very situation dependent, but I would if it was like a legit like usher, like no, we can't get away with this one. Like you gotta throw it up. But if it's something that I don't even catch, and like sometimes it happens, like I just don't even catch it. Like you just like you don't do this, you just let it go. But if it is straight up like a bleed or a gusher, like or an intentional blade when they legally cannot blade, well then like, sorry, buddy, you should know the rules.
Right. On the opposite end, have you ever been in a match where someone got seriously injured? Like not bleeding, but like injured, like a sprain, maybe a fracture, a broken.
I mean, well, we had a CFU. We had a match where a wrestler broke her jaw. And my brother valiantly pushed back into place. That was the finish.
Yeah, when he told us that, I was like, dude, you're insane.
Yeah,
you're insane.
I'm out. That's
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
I refereed the match. I was like, wow, she's selling her jaw so well.
You're like, oh wait,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I actually am pretty good when it comes to like none of my matches have had like significant injuries. I've refereed for matches where guys have had concussions.
Okay.
But like a lot of times, like when the guys get hurt. Actually, no, I just thought of one. All right. Cool. So I was at a show, I'm not gonna name a promotion, but basically they were just kind of throwing too many matches that were the same guys back to back to back to back.
Gotcha.
Like a 3-episode taping style show.
Yeah.
And a dude it was a tag match, and because of the time restriction, they ended up calling the tag match on the fly.
Oh wow.
Dude took a sunset flip and landed right on his head.
Oh.
Went to the outside, and I saw him just laying there going,
oh no.
and I'm like, I get out there. It's like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm checking to see if I can feel my hands.
Oh,
Jesus.
Can you feel your hands? He's like, yes. So they actually he actually elected that I just want to stay out here. We got a minute left in the match. Stayed out there, and they just went for the finish, and he was fine. He didn't have any major injury or anything.
That's nuts.
But it was so close.
Yeah,
I just watched another referee break his leg.
Oh wow.
Yeah, straight up, like we went back and watched the footage. It just happened. He was just stepping and his just leg snapped. And it was funny because I was watching from backstage and I like, is this a distraction spot? Why is the referee talking to security and holding his leg up?
Right.
And then I start seeing the referee get out of the ring while the wrestlers are wrestling.
Right.
And I'm like, not selling.
Yeah,
and
no, you're like, that's real.
Out of the ring, and I just jump in the ring and just, all right, take over.
Right.
Wow.
That happened, I believe, on an NXT. I don't remember the referee's name, but and then of all things, it was on a house show, and it was a spot where he went to dodge a super kick. His leg buckled, and then went. That was it.
Oh,
He went down. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, injuries happen on the most minor things.
That's how Adam Cole hurt his ankle. He literally jumped off of the ramp, and that was it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
like
sometimes
CM
it's
Punk,
the
yeah,
smallest things.
CM Punk had that. He jumped into like the crowd or something. Like boom. Like you
Yeah.
take all the bumps and stuff in the world. You
Mhm.
did craziest stuff, but it's like it's going to be like a weird headlock takeover. That
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
Just the dumbest move that could get you injured nowadays. It's not even the actual move. It's you simply, like you said, walking.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, working in multiple states, I know, wrestlers have, licenses and things like that. What does it take to be a referee? Do you need any sort of licenses to do that? Is it different from state to state? What do you need to do to be a ref?
And the states I've worked: New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland. Maryland's the only one that you need to be a referee license for.
Okay.
If you want to be a wrestler and a referee, you actually have to be separately licensed for both.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yes, they are regulated differently. But Maryland has the referee, and the referee actually has to undergo the same exact testing by a doctor pre-show as a wrestler in Maryland.
Wow.
Almost same process. It's just under like their internal files, you are a wrestler or a referee, and if you are not properly licensed, like you are labeled a referee, and you start wrestling, oh boy. Then Maryland, the state athletic commission official, is watching.
Watching you.
Wow. So wrestlers will tell us from time to time, especially just with one of the episodes we had back in March. This was a big topic of conversation. But is there a certain type of match that you prefer to referee over other type of matches? Is there certain types of matches that you don't enjoy refereeing? Be it regular matches, death match, tag, what have you?
My favorite match to referee is a tag match. More
Okay.
members of the tag team, the better. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
Being able to see like 400 different people,
Mhm.
I'm really good at catching like tags, catching like in position and stuff. I love those. It's because it's so much going on. The referee's so involved in a tag match. And then the opposite, I once did a like buried alive match.
Oh wow.
and you just
Wow.
follow the wrestlers.
Yeah, you don't really do
It's like,
much. You just got to
you get
follow
hurt?
them.
No? Okay. Oh, did you get hurt this time?
No. All right. Cool.
Oh, he's in the hole. Ring the bell.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
They're boring. Like, I mean, it's a
Right.
cool match, but you're as a referee, like, you don't really have much time to like enjoy the match because you're kind of focused on being a referee. But like this one, you're kind of like, what do I do? Oh, you're choking him. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you have times where like there's a great question in wrestling, which I like to say is situation dependent. Are there rope breaks in no DQ matches?
Oh yeah.
What is your answer?
Mm.
So if you got a pin, you got submission. The Jericho's got the walls of Jericho on, and it's a no DQ, and they pull, and now they're at the ropes. What happens?
If it's no DQ, I would assume it's no rope breaks because it's no DQ. There's no rules.
I think my opinion on it would be if the person has the wrestler in a hold and they grab the ropes, I would say that there's no rope break because there's no disqualification. There's nothing you can do about it. If they're pinning them and they grab the ropes, then I would say that there's a rope break. So I feel like your answer of it's situational is very appropriate.
Right.
King Ralph, that is exactly how I see it. Is
There you.
submissions? It enhances the submission.
Right. Right.
Like Wheeler Yuta in a pure rules match beat Matt Mikowski with like a unique like tie him up in the rope style submission, because in pure rules, if you use 3 rope breaks, you don't get any more rope breaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow. Yeah.
and then like if there's a pin, I see it as the rope break nullifies the pin.
Right. Right.
That's how I see it. But you will see like just like at random times, like no DQ matches, like grabs the rope and the referee goes, no pin, and then they grab the submission. The referee starts counting, and it's like,
What
what
do you do?
happens
What
when
do
they
you-
get the 5?
Right? Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you counting to? Like,
Yeah,
are
what
you,
do you-
are you
what do
showing
you-
us you're good at math? What's going on?
There's a couple quirks that happen, or like an unskilled referee.
Right.
Funny quirk, and I always ask them, and they don't have an answer. So ring out count, it goes to 10, and they go 1, 2, 3, like that. I'm like, what happens when you get the 6?
Right.
Because you're using both hands. 5,
Right.
6. Like,
yeah.
Well, now you
Like, what are you doing?
you gotta do
boy.
1, like 4, 5, 6, like that. Like, it's the little things.
It's,
Like,
right.
it's funny though. It is the little things, and I think like I don't know that wrestling fans always notice those things, and I feel like sometimes when wrestling fans do, they tend to make a huge deal out of something that
Yeah.
But I feel like people in the industry see those things more than the fans do. But the one time
Yeah.
a fan catches something, they blow it out of
Oh,
proportion.
absolutely.
it's the latter whole thing. It's the like a good referee and a good production crew. You will never notice because they're doing
right.
their job.
Mhm.
Yep.
The second the referee messes up or the camera crew messes up, it's the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And so like you have that like with like it's one of the things that I say sets a good referee from a great referee is like unfortunately you do almost kind of have to be perfect because
Yeah.
like I've seen guys just not realize there's a pin happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom! Like you're done. You're online, and you're getting roasted.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah. One wrong move and fans will roast you.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
the I do like find some fun with it as a referee when you get like heckly fans. Like,
Right.
I'll have guys like be like, "How'd you miss that?" I was like, "Missed what?"
Right. Yeah, you
That
got
was
to
two-
play around
yeah,
with it.
1, 2, no, what's it? Like I just do that like over and over again.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But so when we spoke to Erwin a few weeks ago, we asked him a question that he was ready to give the answer to. I'm going to sort of flip that question on you in a different way. He said the reason why you don't referee his matches is because they're concerned that there's some bias and that you will help him win. So my question to you is, would you do a fast count for your brother if you were to referee his match? Or would you call it right down the middle?
Oh, I'm not going to do either.
Either.
My brother's losing.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wow.
He's losing.
He's
Oh,
losing.
wow.
He does a single like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got it. Like boom.
Wow.
He's losing.
Jeez.
Man. Jeez. Shade has been
Shade has been thrown. Just not even a
were
win,
like-
just a straight up loss, man.
Wow, you were
I'm
really
sorry,
ready to
like-
answer that.
And then I'm running. We've never
Yeah.
been seen
Then-
in the
then
same
you're
room
booking
at the
it.
same
That's it.
time. He ain't catching me. Like
All right, so and this kind of goes along with that, I guess. But so wrestlers tend to travel together, and I understand that you and your brother, when you're on the same shows, will travel together. But is how do is it the same with referees? Do like referees travel together, or do referees travel with wrestlers, or how does that usually work?
so I personally I kind of take on the lead ref role in a lot of promotions.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times promotions come to me and they go, "Hey, we got you as a referee and we need 2 more. Can you get us 2 more?" And then I will go. And if the carpooling happens, like I'll grab them. Like Ref Julie, I took Ref Julie down to EWA Maryland. Ref Julie's amazing, by the way. Recently, Ben Heist and another referee, Brandon from Monster Factory, came on out to Attention Wrestling. So it's stuff like that. It's just like we travel together, and if not travel together, we network. A lot of networking goes on referees. Like, hey, like I like how you did. There are things that I look for in a referee when I'm like lead ref and I have to find guys. There are like it's a little bullet points. Call me,
Right.
but like, so 1, your haircut. You gotta look. I'm sorry, referee is an official like looking position. You gotta look like official office worker. Yeah, I know, little, but you have to have. And it's like if maybe you like have wild hair outside of wrestling, cool. Like you got to be able to learn how to like bring it back in. Like
Right.
long hair, good ponytail, something like that.
Mhm.
A good fitting referee shirt.
Okay.
If I have promotions that I go to, and they have a referee shirt for me there that's custom to them, and it'll be like 3 sizes too large. That's one thing.
Oh.
But your own
Wow.
personal like stripes that you got, or the black polo. I'm a big black polo fan. I think they look so much better on me than stripes.
Nice.
If it's too big for you, it looks bad. And when I watch a promotion and the referee looks like crap, I'm like, this is a cheap promotion. Like, what are they doing?
Right.
Right. Number one thing, there's another referee that I consider to be like greater, if not equal to me, has the same gripe. Belts. Wear a belt. I see a referee. I'm scouting referees, and I see a referee, and he's got like, everything I checked off so far, tucked in his shirt's tucked in his pants, and he's got no belt on. Get off the list. I'm not
Get out.
You. Wear a belt. I don't know. The belt. It's very completing the look.
Yes, wear a belt.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. Your pants, wear dress pants. Wear dress pants that are flexible. Understand, bring an extra pair of pants too, because you're going to rip the pants. I've ripped 4 dress pants in 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Either at your knees because you're getting out a lot, or like honestly, like from just the movements, like you just stretch them out weird. So dress pants. Once again, properly fitting. I saw a referee once in blue jeans, and
what?
I almost threw like a table.
We're done. Get out.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't even think that's there is like a military thing where we over explain everything.
Right.
Because we have to assume you don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
And the blue jeans ref blew me away because I didn't think I needed to go to referees and go, bring black pants, black dress pants,
bring something,
bring them. But this guy did it. He brought blue jeans.
How dare he?
Well, listen, at least he didn't show up in the black shorts like Shawn Michaels when he was a guest referee.
Yeah, well, that's a guest referee or whatever. I've seen referees in shorts before, and I'm like, bring black dress pants.
Yeah.
And then shoes. Have shoes that fit. Black shoes preferably. Let them match. Let it blend in. You're a referee. You should not be seen or noticeable.
Right.
So if you want to be a character, learn to wrestle.
Yeah.
And that's referee Steve Scharf's bullet points to how to make sure that I will contact you to come.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Wear a belt, have good pants, match your clothes, and make sure it fits.
Write all of that down.
Yes. Yeah. I've been told to shave the mustache because it looks too military, and I said, guess what? I am military.
Yeah,
that's right. You tell him.
That is what I am.
Listen,
you can't tell me otherwise.
It's very simple. If you look like a turd, you're gonna get flushed.
Exactly.
It's just, it literally makes me think less of a promotion when I see like a bad referee, because there are places that go like, hey, we're gonna we can't referees have rates too, but we don't want to pay his rate, so we're just gonna get one of our wrestling students and throw like stripes on him. Right. And then they get their footage back, and the footage, instead of the wrestlers, is just the referee's ass, and it's just
nope.
Yeah, the referee stood in front of the camera the whole time because he doesn't know the referee, and that's what you get for not paying.
Yeah.
There was years ago, and not naming any names, but there was a local promotion that I followed for a while, and the referees just looked terrible. I mean, they looked like, they had just walked in off the street, probably hadn't, taken a shower or combed their hair, and it was embarrassing, and it literally took away from my enjoyment of the show.
Yeah, because you just kind of tell, it's just, you look like it's the not noticeable until you notice thing, where it's like, oh, that referee looks like crap.
Right.
I'm not asking for a referee to be in shape. I'm just asking for them to put themselves together.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
The classic, there's a classic one of WWF, an old
old school, going way back.
Out of I didn't think slapping the mat was a thing yet or something, but they used to just clap. There'd be a pin, and they'd go 1.
Oh, really? They would clap and they wouldn't even have to use the mat?
Yeah, a lot of old
Did you know that,
WWF,
No.
WWF,
Wow.
the San Martino title reign.
Wow, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, same.
Jeez.
Like that.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But-
I've luckily have not seen like a guy like on the indies do that, but if I did, I'd like literally pull him aside and be like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but whatever it is, you need to stop.
Well, I would be more curious as a fan. How would they know? Would they assume that the clap means the pin, or would they have to be told, "Hey, this is what a pin is"?
I guess that must be a thing back then. That,
I guess so, because if it was a thing and they clapped, but like, I
My,
don't know.
my thought was either a thing or the referees, like back then, wrestling kind of being the Wild West. There was just referees who just didn't give a crap.
Right. Of
it's
course.
possible.
It's
Yeah.
definitely possible.
Wow.
So you mentioned earlier craziest match that you wrestled in. What did you think is your favorite match that you not wrestled in, refereed in? If you had to pick.
I would say it probably is that same one.
Okay.
It's just legitimately just like the fondest memory because I've had so many. I've probably refereed like well over 200, maybe 300 matches.
Oh wow.
I've stopped counting. Because a lot of them are just singles matches that just happen or things. And like the memorial ones are like, yeah, like that was a match of a life that's never gonna happen again. Like Max versus CC Boost is never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And so that's why you all need to watch it.
Yeah, we'll be taking a look at that very
Definitely
soon.
agree with that.
So as a referee and traveling through multiple states as you have named before, and going to various shows in places where you don't live, have you found a favorite place to eat? Have you found like a place that like I can't wait to go back to this promotion because it's right down the road from Spanky McJones Chicken?
So two, I'll give two.
Okay.
I guess can I give three?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
Hey, listen, give
Location.
like 50. I don't care.
Oh man, no, I don't want to keep you guys here all night.
We'll do
but,
three. Three's fine. We'll do three.
So one, this is when I go north. And this is not just wrestling. This is in my other hobbies and like outdoorsing and stuff like that. Sheets. I live in Wawa. So Sheets is unique, like other cultural food.
Yeah, I agree.
So if I'm in Sheets territory and I see one, it gets added to the like I should go there after my show.
Nice.
And then I go to the south, EWA Maryland, and CZW at Havre, EWA Maryland in Bel Air, and CZW in Havre de Grace, Waffle House, right up the street.
Waffle House. Yes.
Waffle House is
so good.
That's the rest of his favorite food is Waffle House because
so
it's just
good.
Like it's the OG 24/7.
It is so good.
They used that joke for Sami Zayn in the Bloodline one time. They're like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring all the Usos to Waffle House because they love the Waffle House."
Oh, listen, I went to Ohio one time. I was there for a week. My aunt and uncle were having a 50th wedding anniversary, and unbeknownst to me at the time, the hotel that I booked to stay at shared a parking lot with a Waffle House.
Nice.
I was there every day of the entire trip.
$5, you're good to go.
It was
Right.
Waffle House, and then right across the street from me was a Tim Hortons.
Even better.
It was literally one of the greatest weeks of my life.
And then my last one I'm going to name is going to be there's a diner, like a New Jersey Southeast PA style diner, right next to the Worldwide Dojo, and I do a lot of driving wrestlers who are not from around here around. I'm a good name to pick for it. I'm very sociable and I'm not going to be weird and stuff like that. I'm not scaring them away. So I like our Marty Ubach from Andorra. I drove him around. I drive wrestlers from Europe around a lot. I can speak a little bit of German, so it helps too if anybody from that region. And just generally, like I drive people from not around here around. And you say diner to 95% of the United States, they think Waffle House. You say diner to somebody from Jersey or from Southeast PA, they think a 24/7 place run by Mediterraneans.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, listen,
Absolutely.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You are not.
We've had a diner in my hometown forever called the Obi Diner, and it is my favorite. It is the best diner, and it's literally what you said. But it's the best diner.
Just menu upon menu upon menu upon
75
menu.
pages of food.
It's only pages
Don't
of
order
food,
half of it.
but they're all so affordable and like inexpensive.
Yes.
But they're all so good.
Yes.
It's like
Don't order the seafood. Don't order the surf and turf.
No. No. Everything but
and
that.
so I bring wrestlers there because I'm like, we're gonna go to a diner after the show. And at first when I like started doing it, I was like, we're going to diner after the show. I hope you don't mind, because like around here, like diners aren't exactly like a high tier place. Like I know people who think they're bigger than diners, which you're not. You're not.
Oh,
diners are great, especially because most are 24/7. But so they're blown away because they thought I was taking them to a Waffle House, and they sit down, and it's like, oh, this is 1950s theme, and like. The waiter has an accent I don't understand, and like the food is great, and you get so much for so cheap.
Dude, it's crazy. They're like, okay, let's make this not make sense. Let's give you all the portions for like zero the price.
Yeah, like this calamari, it's not squid, but it's good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Salad bar, we don't know the last time it's been cleaned, but it's good.
But it's amazing.
It's good. Yeah.
But it's so good.
I am a connoisseur of diners, and I love getting meatloaf at diners.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
My wife and I are
choice.
ridiculously obsessed with mozzarella sticks. We order them at every meal at every restaurant we go to.
Absolutely.
And you got to get them. So what is the name of this place?
I actually don't know.
Oh, but it's right.
I know
don't even know.
I don't know the name of it.
It's by the dojo. That's all he knows. It's by the dojo.
You're at the dojo. You type in diner. It's the first one there. It's like entirely reflective on the outside.
Nice.
Oh man, like, and it's like every other diner in the region where it's just like it's themed, and it's got the massive venue, and it's good food for cheap.
Yeah,
I appreciate the hustle.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's fully metallic-y reflective on the outside. If that helps,
right.
Like,
Yeah. That's usually how
I will
it goes.
say when we were at the high tension tapings, my wife was there as well, and we went to get something to eat afterwards, and we went to a place not far from the dojo. It was called the Pines Tavern, and they had really good food there.
There you go.
The food was very good. They did they did a lot of things that were like cheesesteaky and burgery, and they had this honestly, and I've had cheesesteaks from Philly. I've had a number of cheesesteaks from different places, and I had a cheesesteak wrap there that was like supposed to be about a Philly cheesesteak.
They're so good,
like a Philly cheesesteak. I'm telling you, this might have been the best cheesesteak.
Dude, cheesesteak wraps
are wasn't even in
next.
I wasn't
level.
even in Philly, so
yeah.
I don't know what we were in Bristol, so it's not that far, but still.
I don't know what it's about cheesesteak wraps, but for some reason it's like next level.
I've never had one before.
It's so good.
I just decided to go for it. It had French fries and mozzarella sticks in it, by the way.
Oh, you have like the ultra one.
Go.
Oh yeah,
so
even better.
Best cheesesteak in Philly is Steve's Prince of Steaks, by the way.
Is Steve Prince of Steaks? Okay,
that's my go-to.
All right. So
Are you just saying that because your name's on it?
No, it's really good.
So I do like cheesesteaks from Philly, but honestly, and I tell this to people all the time, my secret go-to in Philly is the roast pork sandwich at John's Roast Pork.
There you go.
Down by the Navy Yard.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Roast pork, broccoli rabe, provolone. So good.
There's something similar to that I get, but it's by my brother. It's in Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Nix, but it's like the same thing.
Is good.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the roast pork, the rabe. Oh, so good. So good.
If I'm not going by the Navy Yard, like the Nix is good. I will get
the Nix is great
as well. Yeah, but I like roast pork sandwiches from Philly.
Yeah.
Like cheesesteaks are good, and there are great cheesesteaks there, but
right.
I feel like there's other little secrets. But
there's so many good food spots in Philly, and I love taking people from out of town there.
Right.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, they actually did a show. It was a 2-day event at the 2300 Arena a couple months ago. It was day one was a New Japan Pro Wrestling like exclusive show,
right?
With the sponsorship, and then day 2 was a Impact and New Japan crossover. So the main event was Tanahashi versus Alex Shelley.
Nice.
Was it I believe it was Tanahashi. But day 1 had a scramble. The Pat's Cheesesteak Scramble.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah,
I've heard about Japanese wrestlers who probably didn't even know what a cheesesteak was.
Right.
Right.
Philly thing. and they suspended the Pats. It might have been Geno's, was one of the two, but they suspended a bag of cheesesteaks above the ring.
That's
and they had
amazing.
A ladder match for the cheesesteaks.
I love that.
We got catered cheesesteaks backstage. I was doing cable work.
That's amazing.
So I was literally like ringside with the camera crew running the cables around. Great opportunity. I got to be next to the ring.
Right.
That's cool.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah, they wrestled over cheesesteaks and then they won. And then there's the wrestler sat at the top of the ladder of bags of cheesesteaks and handed out.
Love it. Love that.
This
Awesome.
is so silly. And then
That's amazing.
and then the owner of whichever it was, Pat or Geno's, came out to the ring and presented more cheesesteaks on a platter.
That's awesome.
That's
what is
amazing.
going on?
I love that.
So I will say this, and we're getting to the end of the episode here, and what a great way to end the episode,
right?
Talking about cheesesteaks. But I will say this: I have never had a single minute of wrestling training in my entire life, and I would get in the ring and wrestle against 5 Japanese trained professional wrestlers
for a bag of cheesesteaks.
If that was on the line, I would get in there and wrestle them for a bag of cheese. Done is right.
Sold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I will learn
Yes.
I will learn to bump for that one match.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. Well, this has been a super fun episode.
Yep.
It has been great getting to know you. Of course, back in March, we got to know your brother, and we were finally able to get you on the show.
Yep.
And we get to learn a little bit about the refereeing brother of the duo.
Yes.
So this has been a lot of fun. We thank you for joining us. It's been great getting to learn a little bit about you, getting to let our viewers learn a little bit about you as well.
Exactly.
So we thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And you and your brother, the Scharf brothers together.
Yes.
You guys are welcome here anytime.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun. So we thank you, and good luck with everything you've got coming up, and refereeing and all that stuff. So thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So that is going to wrap up this episode of Wrestling with Life.
Yep.
You've seen the socials across the bottom, so please follow our guest. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything.
Yep.
If you want to get these videos 5 days early, go over to our Patreon. We've got
join the Patreon.
Absolutely, we've got a ton of great stuff for you there as well.
Be a member.
Yep. So we will see you guys next time.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey, this is ABJ of the ABJ Podcast, and you're listening to the Opinion City Wrestling with Live series exclusively on Patreon. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching this presentation. Like, share, and subscribe for more.